Hi, I think we are live. Uh, Hi, everyone. Let me start with introducing ma'am. Hello, friends and future colleagues. It is with great pleasure that I introduce AOR Dhruti Kapadia ma'am, a multifaceted legal luminary to the Law Gears live talk show today. As a solicitor and advocate on record at the Supreme Court of India, ma'am has honed her craft in matters relating and ranging from constitutional, civil, media, and intellectual property rights to company law and commercial arbitration. She is a beacon of legal education, dedicating 13 hours per week for teaching law at Mumbai University Law Colleges and training students in ADR. She has also played her role as the chief guest and judge in moot court competitions across various universities. Moreover, ma'am's expertise transcends boundaries, having been interviewed by the media and contributing articles on legal subjects to leading newspapers such as the Times of India. In essence, Dhruti Mams embodies the pinnacle of legal excellence, seamlessly transitioning between her roles as an advocate, educator, arbitrator, mediator, and policy analyst. Please join me in welcoming Dhruti Kapadia ma'am to this talk show, which is aired live today with yours truly, your host Muskan Naran. Thank you so much for coming here, ma'am.
Muskan, thank you for inviting me here. I hope this talk will help a lot of students and legal young lawyers and legal fraternity people to even correct me and even to learn from me. Because I always believe in vice versa way. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. This is actually a great pleasure for me as well because I have always looked at your LinkedIn post and I have been following your journey for a long time now. And just to sit in front of you today and ask these questions for just a simple law student is really something which is very, encouraging as an effort from your side. Let's maybe start with the questions. I hope we have a audience right now. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat box. Let's start with a question about why did you choose law as a subject?
Why did I choose law as a subject was only my choice because from my childhood I was very fascinated with English literature books, Charles Dickens, and even my dad had studied law, but he's a businessman. So I always thought I'm a person who's fit to really fight for the right. And with that attitude of mine from my school days, all my school friends and close colleagues who are now my lawyer friends would also say you were nothing but a lawyer from your childhood. So this is why I always thought the intrate build, I would say, the things I like towards the social activities. Then even to do something what is right for somebody, I would just fight out and I would stand up for them. I felt nothing but this is my profession. And in school, I took up the subject that is commerce. We had since I was in ICSE school. So from the school itself, I had dropped science because I knew from commerce after 11th and 12th, I wanted to do law. So I had already planned my journey from my 8th standard when I dropped science out.
Okay, all right. So I've read a couple of your interviews before. I believe that your journey has been very well planned out. So you believe a lot in planning. That is my first impression that comes from reading a lot of your interviews. So is there something? Are you a general? Are you a person who generally has that personality who likes to plan things out, or do you prefer maybe sometimes going with the flow, or have you practiced becoming this person?
No, I always believe there has to be some targets, some goals in life. I mean, it's not that you plan only to achieve that goal. You may have fluctuations within that self. For example, when I was in college in government law college, I was told that taxation will never be your cup of cake to do it because come on, yeah, it's such a tough subject. I said no, I will definitely take taxation. Only 11 students took, and I topped that in the university in taxation.
Wow.
So I felt if I take anything as a challenge, same way, people told me you are a first generation lawyer of solicitors. You're just joking. You won't be able to do it. I said, come on, why can't I do it? So with that thing, I always felt the fire in me. If somebody says you can't do it, I want to do it more, and to see whether I can really do it or not. So that kept me going. And of course, you need to after a certain time, you need to plan where you want to go, draw a map line for yourself, and try to evaluate whether you can fit in those crafts of what you want to really go ahead. If you feel you can't, then go with the flow. I mean, many times you don't get what you always want. You always fail. You always fail, I'll say. It's not like, you'll always succeed. You'll always fail, I would say. But with that failure, you learn a lot of how to replan again, redo again. But luckily, in my structuring of the way I wanted to do things, were very, very designed in my own mind. And I would give credits to people like who were there with me, my family and my best friends and all, like were there and who said, "Look, we are with you. You do what you like in life." That's exactly why what I did. I want to do it in life. So
Okay,
you
all
need
right.
you need that
So
background. Many a times, Muskan, people want to do a lot of things, like all of us. Like we want to do a lot of things, but we can't do due to circumstances. There could be family hurdles. There could be medical hurdles. There could be many more things. So I was lucky also. Nothing that kind of huge hurdles came across to stop me from doing what I want to do.
right. Okay. You is there anybody who you would particularly dedicate your success to? I remember reading something about a particular best friend that you have. So, is there somebody who you particularly credit all of your successes to, or maybe
See,
just
I would say
them helping them out? You know?
correct. My bestie is unfortunately not there. Like I lost him in like COVID times, but I think he was always there in my journey. A good guide, a good friend, a father. I mean, just like my father, a very, very good guide with whose support, moral support, emotional support, with your head support. You have him, and he's there for you to guide you, correct you, because we are at an age at times where in your 1920s, 21, you are really confused. You don't really know how you want to go about life. You try to really venture within yourself, and you need your family, you need your good friends around you to stand by you, to tell you this is correct what you are doing. We all go through that phase, the struggle phase of immature professionals, that we try to be mature professionals. So in that kind of a thing, you need this. And I was very, very lucky that I always had somebody to go back and say, "Oh, look, I'm here in trouble, how do I do?" And my dad would be there, my bestie would be there, my mom would be there, my sisters, like, I mean, they have studied law. So I have been like, the younger sisters after me, they've studied law, let me be more clear. And obviously some good mentors at bar I would go and check. Some were like really wicked, some were really good, so you will get the mixed bag of both, so I wouldn't say it's always been easy, it's been difficult, but in that difficult phase you find yourself to be easier when you have somebody to go back and cry out or laugh at and say, "Look, I'm okay."
Right, exactly. So you also believe that there is supposed to be a support system when you are getting out in your journey. But how do you build that support system? Like, what was your journey about building that support system for
It's
yourself?
a relation. It's a relation with people. Your mind with intellectuals should click. If your mind clicks, things go well. Like, you may look at ABCD as, "Oh wow, this person is a super lawyer. I really want to go and be like him." But you can't be him or her. You have to be yourself. You can take good values from people. You can take good talent feeds from people, but you just cannot be a replica copy. We are all unique in our own way. So everybody has a different face, different journey, different destiny, different circumstances that I again repeat. Because many people want to do things on their own, but they can't because they have a package to take home. They have a lot of responsibilities to look after, and they really cannot be what they really want to be, but they may be better than what we all are. You never know what is destined ahead. So you have to take all these combinations together and go with the flow. I would put it out loud, go with the flow. Don't get disheartened, don't get disappointed. We all go through all of it.
Right, absolutely. So one interesting thing that I read in one of your previous interviews with I think Super Lawyer, which is a contribution by Law Seco. So I read somewhere that you said that you are a court person. That you're a you. I was always a court person. So when you say that, how did you explore that as a law student, that you particularly enjoy courts more than maybe sitting in a 9 to 5 in a AC cabin in a corporate maybe?
See, I had been very lucky to get my internship in litigation. Okay. And when I entered the High Court, I felt elevated to myself that, look, I'm in a place where I'm no citizen, but I'm going to be tomorrow this lawyer. I'm going to be all these black coat lawyers. I'm going to be like all of the band running around with my briefs. And I really wanted to see whether I really can argue. Always been a personality of bold, outspoken, and fearless person in me. I felt really reading the law would help me, convincing the judge would help me. So while I did my internship, I was observing. While I did my articleship in litigations, I did see, look, if this person can argue when I have prepared the case, why can't I argue? So I did get job opportunities in law firms also, but I couldn't stick around. I said, look, I can't sit in this desk job thing. I want to go and argue because I have drafted this. I want to do this because I have done my research. I want to present it. So I felt this is the best place, and I always thought the judge above there, who's a supreme person there, would have some powers to do justice. And I always felt, how do I be participative to get justice for people? That's why I said I can only do that if I'm inside the court, standing for them.
Right, absolutely. So, was your aim especially because seeing things around you, you wanted to get people justice, or your motivation? Where did your motivation lie, basically, to go in the court and help people out?
See, I've always been a person who participated in debates. I love debates. I like, people talking big things, and I want to say, okay, let me talk bigger things, or maybe let me talk a little lesser and see what actually the truth is. So that's always been my me, from my school days to college days and all. And then I felt the court is the place where you have to present what is right, what is wrong with your research, with your precedents. A lot of things as students, that was a puzzle be what do I do, what not. But I was clear, I can't sit in one place. I still see a lot of people coming for legal aid help, okay? And I felt with this legal aid help, people talk, okay, we do free cases. What is the free cases we do? How are we going to do it? Do we get opportunities? How do we go ahead? So venturing everything, I felt to court is my place. This is what I like to wear every day and come to court like a uniform. This is what I like to talk to the people who are of intellectual levels with whom I can argue and discuss some matters. I'm not saying other lawyers are not, they're all very good. Even corporate lawyers are the top classes. Like, I'm not on that. I'm on the point about my selection. So I would see, good cases which are being argued, represented by, big names. And I was like, wow, this is what the whole, scenario of law is. And I really think if I get to put 2 points ahead of what he's saying, I will like to participate. So enthusiasm created. And then I'm like, this is what I do. Though, see, litigation doesn't give you money in the start. It gives you waste of your pocket money is going into your travel expenses and all. Then you feel, oh, where the hell is my money making thing? But that is not your intent. Like, if that is your intent, then you may not be able to like that kind of stuff. Just being in the court and wasting your time, because there's a lot of waiting for the matter. But if you really think that after waiting I can do some good work and I can get some delivery of justice, I think for law students, as you're asking me, I'm talking from a law student's angle point, if you're not as a counsel at the moment. I think this is how the journey would plan out for you. Then while you are in the profession, you talk to right people. You may get wrong people to misguide you also, so you should know what is good for you, how is it working for you. A lot of things you have to evaluate, while your own experience will be able to evaluate. My experience cannot be a replica for yours.
Right. So, because of these, since we're talking about law students and your maybe legal journey when it comes to being in law school, you have studied a lot of different topics. When it comes to intellectual property, cyber laws, IPR, a lot of different topics, and ADR especially. So, what is something that attracted you to these certain topics? Is there something maybe you picked up your interest and then you pursued that, or what exactly was your interest that in each of these topics and to pursue a legitimate course on this?
I always felt learn something new. New in that sense, which will help you contribute something in your practice. I just don't want to academically grow by just collecting a degree. That's an attitude which nobody should have. How you can study and make some difference in the field. So IPR was my fourth year subject where I had selected, and I thought I want to do my masters in IPR and IT law, because I felt there are a lot of things that's being innovative in that field. Intellectual property rights. So I did do my LLM in that. Cyber law, because 2005 when I was in first year law, I said, let me take this because this is a global topic, a global practice where cyber crimes can happen anywhere. And if something like a case comes to me tomorrow of this nature, how would I be able to identify what are the remedies or what is what? So I took up a diploma in that, not a very high profile degree, but Asian cyber law schools, I took 6 months diploma in it. And I did think, because I did that, I at least know how the whole cyber crime system, protection system works, and how we can at least be approached if some sort of such crimes happen. So practice would then come into play after you study your base. So as I said, studying LLB topics, books is just your momentary books degree, but how you evaluate it, how you mold it in your practice would be very important.
Right, absolutely. What is an ideal balance that you'd say a law student should have when it comes to researching or doing courses for their own benefit, or with in terms of having practical exposure and doing internships and maybe competitions?
See, I would make it very clear. Each law student has a different interest. It's you like it's like you and me. You would like criminal law as a subject while you are studying in your LLB, or you would say no because I have watched Netflix and I want to do criminal law. There are different reasons why you want to really take up that kind of a internship, or you have really liked a high-profile name and you really want to work in that chamber to feel the flow of what it is. So all of it makes a lot of difference when a law student is trying to evaluate. A lot of conversations within your friends would help you decide what you want to really venture. I would say what you want to really navigate, because you're navigating as law students. You really don't know what you are going to be in a Ferrari car or on a Fiat car. You really don't know. So it depends on the way that the subjects you do. I would say multiple internships would help. A long-term internship in one place where you think this is the field you have chosen and you really want to be, you should do that. Apart from that, in addition to enhance your skills, to enhance and know more academical courses, you should take up something in ADR and cyber laws, which are upcoming streams and which are evergreen streams, like, or
Hmm.
something unique that you feel like doing nowadays is like, people want to do mediation. It's like a subject which everybody should know how to mediate, like, so I think with all of these colorful areas of law, you have something very very different in your mind to go of how you want to make your profile making. Because see, if you have a good resume, if you have a good academical background as well as good internship, you may get opportunities easier in good universities for your further studies, good internship opportunities, then good associateship opportunities. So it goes on of how you have developed. Like, see, if I've only done litigation, no corporate lawyer is going to give me, chalo, I'm going to give you an opportunity in corporate field, come and work with us after 5 years. They'll say, listen, you've done litigation, you do go there. But initial period, if you take varieties of it, you may get the opportunities in the field that you want to.
Right, absolutely. In terms of your role as an educator, as somebody who judges these competitions and dealing with students generally, what is something that how did that journey start? First of all, about you being an educator and maybe going for these competitions, and how do you enjoy these journeys? What is your role in these journeys? So maybe
I
you
would
can
say,
elaborate.
yeah, I would say it's very simple rule. It's like you want to give back something to the society. You have studied, you're accumulating yourself with your education, then why not give back to privileged, underprivileged, and anybody who really wants to learn from you? Because I'm still learning. There's never a full stop. Every day I'm learning. So I felt like when I got the opportunity to teach in colleges like Siddharth College, GLC, KC Law, Maharashtra National Law University, some webinars internationally, some moot competitions where they started inviting me to judge because they saw that I'm quite professionally involved in academia and I should be there to guide their students. I got invites. I never said a no. Maybe out of hundreds of invites, I must have said twice or thrice no because I felt I'm not in a position to go there. So I've always been open. I've removed time from my busy schedules to give back to the society in whichever way I can. So this is the way
Right.
I think the fastest and the best way, because all you're doing is giving your knowledge out, and in the process, I'm learning a lot from the students. Everyone is so bright, believe me, that in every episode of my teaching and interacting with them, I'm learning, and it's my selfish interest that I'm learning. So that's good.
Right.
That's good.
All right. How do you? So, as an educator, let's say, do you in your classes? Because I do not know how your classes go by. If we have some students of yours in the comments, then maybe they can help you with this question also. How do you generally prepare for a lecture? Let's say, do you also include a lot of personal anecdotes or personal experiences that you've gone through, or how do you take up one subject or one topic?
A very simple rule here. You have to make the class feel comfortable. Firstly, I'm not a professor per se, I'm the friend. Okay. Once you are friend, we can have an open conversation about topics, read about it, learn about it. Like I'll tell you, there were some students who were not from, what do you call it, English speaking background. And I always felt that to educate them, I would say read the articles in the newspaper and just speak what you like about it. 10 minutes of my class. Because that will open their minds of English speaking. That's important. So I'm not going to name which class of it was, because it's not correct to name, but I have encouraged them this way. Then I have given students opportunity to read in the class, read and explain me, be my own professor. So they get more participative, sometimes. And interactive is very important. Not only that, many a times I have given them a designing of a project which is practical in nature, which will give them good scores as well as good evaluation skills, because ultimately you are not going to be a nursery student, you're not going to be a law student, you're going to be a law professional. I teach professionals also in Maharashtra National Law University, like MA in mediations and all. So I always believe that there is no age bar of learning. I have taught students who are 65 plus. I have taught students who are like 80. I have taught students who are 20. So I have got varieties of friends I have made in that process.
Right. Okay. And even like to manage different age groups, you have to maybe modulate what you are saying or maybe how you're saying it, and to make sure that it presents. And also, this I did not know that this was one of the aspects of having a language barrier. Maybe somebody having a language barrier, so you maybe have to modulate yourself to. Make sure that the message is getting across. So I believe that, ma'am, you've had like you have a very empathetic approach to people. So especially on this log is live talk show this time, you have helped me a lot to maybe where to air this and how the content should be, and it has really helped me a lot. So I think you that even just including this as one of the examples, during the lockdown period, I believe I read it somewhere that you have help people from going from door to door for helping other people out during the COVID lockdown period. Even you have done a lot of you have contributed in an NGO for 7 years, and still you keep doing things which help other people out. So this empathetic approach, especially, how do you make sure that you keep that alive in your current life, in how you are doing things right now, and also where has this stemmed out from maybe your law school days, or what motivates you to actually pursue helping other people and developing an empathetic approach?
I would say a very simple thing. How would you celebrate your birthday? I would celebrate my birthday in Ashadan from my childhood, thanks to my parents. I would celebrate in old age homes sometimes when I am in India, when I am in my country, because my birthdays are usually in vacations. So I have started doing this from my very early days. Our culture, our upbringing has been give to the society, give to the people who need you. Because if you are a little privileged than them, why not make them privileged like you? So that's always been one key where I have molded myself, and it's come within my genes, so it's come within us that we need to do something for everybody who needs help, if you can do it in your own honest way. So
Right.
contributions, so I started my NGO, the Mixed Voices. I founded it in 2014 15, and I did do some education courses on that, on health, on legal aid skills. I also did a very interesting one, and you will smile at it because I love this. On 14th February, before the lockdown, with transgenders, we opened a skill center, and we did have a communications of giving them roses and saying "I love you" to them. So we have always
Oh,
yeah. So we have always made people feel like good. And thereafter, when my practice has been so busy that I had to then say, look, now I won't be able to do a full time thing. Then I've given my NGO authorities to some other trustees. But I had contributed every bit from my own penny, not taking donations from others, because whatever little I could make and do it, it was from my own abilities, and I did it So not that a huge amount that I have spent, but I have spent some bit of it, which I believe it's not it's nothing. Yeah, I mean, people do so much big. Yeah, I'm doing nothing. I always feel like there are so many people who do so many things for people. So it's nothing like this. And in pandemic time, as you said, like I did this door-to-door vaccinations PIL as an independent, litigant, a first litigant, I would say, because I did see that it was necessary that senior citizens get vaccines in their homes. They were unable to go out. It was a very bad scenario. I mean, I had to take 7 mobile phones just to coordinate with people to see whether they're getting hospital beds, they're getting oxygen things. So I could hardly sleep 3 to 4 hours. So I was like, what am I doing to myself? The moment pandemic has gone off, I luckily have my own original one number. But I could I could see like we were all feeling helpless at times, and a lot of people wanted to work on the field and do. A lot of people did. Credits to all of them who worked out. Like everybody who were like struggling to see what is the solution for all these problems that we were facing. So I don't think I've done anything big so far, but I just did what I could do in my abilities. Yeah.
So this empathetic approach, especially, you would not credit yourself, but I would say that these are some of the things that all of us should maybe look into doing, because it gives you an approach about how others' lives are important as much as ours. So our busy schedule maybe is something that we need to deal with, but if a client is calling us at an odd hour, or maybe just trying to reach out to us for something that they need, it gives you an empathetic approach to, okay, how do I deal with him or her. Basically, in this aspect only, do you have like a current philosophy in life, or something that you go by, something which is, maybe you follow a spiritual path, maybe you'd like to share with our audiences today?
I believe take dua, not bad dua. That's the only thing. It's like it's very easy to make money in a profession if you do unethical things. Which, if you do unethical things, you lose everything of you that you are. If you do ethical things, you may make no money. You may make little money. You may make money, but at least you can sleep in peace. So I always say, and I always tell people who are my interns and my young law friends and even elder law friends that look, I'm okay of what I'm doing. It's a battle. We all struggle to be what we want to be, and we keep struggling till we live. So it's nothing new. There may be barriers, there may be people who will want to stop you because you're doing good. There may be people who want to support you because you're doing good. So go with the flow. Don't ever harm anybody. Because when you do that, you feel the pleasure of it momentarily, but you will be harming yourself the most. So I always believe in doing good karmas. Wherever it goes, karma hits back. So the way you do, you will get it back. In whichever way you do, you will get it in the other way back.
Absolutely. Has this something that you worked on developing, or is this something that you have as a core principle, maybe taught by your parents?
As I said, some of it is just you yourself. You meet the like-minded people, you develop, you get experiences. Sometimes you get bitter experiences in life. Sometimes you get good experiences. Everything teaches you, yeah, and makes you you. So you have to learn. So I can't say I'm the perfect me. I can never be perfect. I'm full of flaws. Everybody is full of flaws. So how acceptably you take your flaws in a positive stride and try to say, look, this is where I want to be. I can apologize to people if I've done wrong. I don't shy out. So don't be what I say. Don't let the success hit your head, because you're not the only successful person. You're nothing. There are a lot of people above you. So just go with that. So let it just go grounded. Let it just go with the flow. Like,
Right, absolutely.
yeah.
So there is this. I was really intrigued by one of your recent posts on LinkedIn, where you said that, and I read, law is all about being just and fair, not being too technical to drop out justice. So was it based on some of your recent learnings, and maybe you can elaborate on this point? What do you actually mean by that?
I have seen a wonderful judges in High Court. Okay, they have worked towards justice and they keep working towards justice. The technical part, most of them don't even look at it. Some of them are looking at it. So I always feel if you have to really sit and do justice for somebody, even as lawyers, to oppose a technical point to let the petition be thrown off, you shouldn't do it, because the person has come with a good case to produce on a technical ground. Why throw matters off? Try to give them an open justice system, and that would be better. That's my personal view. With due respect to how it works, everything is working so good in justice system, but you always feel on a technical point, I don't want to harm somebody, but then you have to, because that is what the law is sometimes. So I always feel just and fair. Let's be it. Like,
Okay, all right. So another question is that, I am also going to be a first generation lawyer. And so, like many of us in the audience here today, I won't ask you about the challenges, because maybe we all want to face it firsthand. Whenever we are, just as you said, we are going with the flow. So you just want to face all of these problems, maybe challenges yourself firsthand. But what were your first few lessons that you learned when you were just starting out?
I felt that it's very difficult for a woman to come and do counsel practice. Different pros and cons for it. But now, after 15 years of being in practice, almost 15 years, I feel a lot of opportunities are opened up for women. So after a decade, I can say, no, yeah, it's not always that bad. It's just like how you want to treat it off. Secondly, you have to join the right chambers. You join a wrong chamber and you are in soup. So always select a good senior. And you learn experiences. I'm not saying anybody is bad. It's just like you need a good support system around you to have somebody keeping you going in a positive way and always showing you a positive side of the profession. Sometimes you see the ugly sides of it also because it's a colorful bag, yeah. I mean, then you should know how you want to, where you want to mingle with, whom you want to be with. You should know how to choose your right people. That's important.
Alright. I don't know if you've been through this problem maybe or this challenge, but in certain issues, it what happens is that you know how they say that "हीरे को तराशना पड़ता है." So you go through some problems, some challenges where you think that it's okay that this person is treating me that way, maybe a senior, maybe a colleague, something like that. But you don't know exactly what is a no go zone. So where that person is not supposed to reach out. So let's say in that scenario, how do you know that this particular thing that this person is doing, or this particular challenge that this person is presenting, or an opportunity is presenting, then that is something that is maybe for my growth and not for my not to bring me down. So how do you know that choosing a correct senior, as you said, how do you know what is the correct way to do that, and how do you know that this person is my correct senior?
See, firstly, keep your mindset clear. Don't try being judgmental towards people. Don't try to be negative towards them unless you experience it. Just a moment. Be open about venturing with new people. Make friends at bar, not enemies at bar. So if you have not liked a workplace, okay, like you said, you worked for 4 months in a law firm, you didn't like it. Walk out with grace and say sorry, I'm not working. See if you've liked it, continue it. Or say you want to venture your own thing. Always come with respectfulness. Respect people, I think, and you should always think and analyze yourself, evaluate yourself, then evaluating others' comments on you. Where are you going wrong? Correct yourself, then say, oh, this person is trying to point fingers at me and trying to put me in a negative notion. Don't get attactive. Just be simple. Just try to think that why this is happening to me, it's happening for my good. Because whatever happens, it's an experience. And every experience is beautiful experience. You learn everything from every experience. So in my personal view, I would say go with the flow, enjoy it, be nice to people, and try avoiding conflicts, you know, because you have to respect everybody. Everybody has their own characterisms. Disrespecting somebody means you are doing harm to yourself. Don't do that.
Makes sense. So let's talk about maybe taking a break, because taking a break is very important for everyone. So I know that you are very much into health, keeping yourself healthy, and maybe you have a very wonderful hobby which is very different, I would say, from a lot of lawyers that I've met, which is you are into skating. So maybe let's talk about these, and how do you enjoy taking breaks when you're off work and you're in your days off?
I love adventures. Work is also an adventure to me, and I travel for adventures. So I do like look out for places, maybe nationally and internationally, both the places where I can do skydiving, jumping, or I can do underwater scuba diving, marine life. I mean, and I would go for spotting like cycling around. So I have always been like live life fully if you can, because what are you working for is to enjoy yourself also. Pamper yourself with what you like. Spend time with good friends, families. Try to be progressive in every sense you do, because as you travel, you learn a lot. Learning is not just academical and law what we do. Life learning is important, and which I venture it while I travel. I meet new people, new cultures, new kind of experiences, good, bad, everything comes in a package. So it's fun. I've hosted foreigners in my house also. I've done a lot of hospitality. Then I've had fun. Like I've enjoyed life, and I feel fun would be in that sense, do what makes you happy, because you don't know what will make you sad tomorrow. So do it.
Oh, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So maybe we can end the episode with the two important questions. We have just, we've just been celebrating the Women's Day, and you yourself have appeared on many platforms. Maybe just to talk about women and their challenges. So, first of all, instead of because we are done, because we're still in the mood of celebrating that, let's talk about what maybe you like as being a woman. So we know there are a lot of challenges in the legal field, but what do you enjoy as being a woman? And the second thing is that what are the certain challenges that you'd say that a few women lawyers, practicing advocates feel when they are in this field, and how do you maybe tackle with this?
Being a woman is a wonderful gift God's given us, I would say. Pamper yourself. You are strong as well as weak equally. So that's a weak in that sense. You have problems to face, which even a man has. So there's no gender gap there. But you feel being a woman, you can do a lot of things which I think will be progressive in because without a woman, the country cannot be full. Nothing, the family cannot be full. So I think being a happy woman is important and how you find happiness is important. I'm also empowering men. I'm of a dual nature, empower women as well as men, because empower anybody who really needs empowerment today. We have gone 100 years back and developed ourselves to be really strong women. We're always strong, but opportunities, laws, everything has evolved around it. It's been 100 years now. And I think we are in a platform where today we should be careful as women not to misuse laws, to be fair,
Absolutely.
and we should be very helpful towards the empathetic approach towards the men who also suffer. So being a woman doesn't mean we are only feminists completely to help only a woman. No, please help even men, irrespective of the gender. Help people. And I think the struggles we women faced in problems in our profession would be opportunities a little less, but it's increasing now. Uh, there are less women who get senior gowns, which they'll be getting soon, I'm sure. Like it's progressive, like comparatively, because many people who didn't practice law fully, let's understand the past also. So a lot of things like that. So I think things are increasing, opportunities are growing, and I think we are as good as our male colleagues are. We're respectful to each other. Don't try to use a woman card everywhere negatively or positively for your benefits. Be what you are and try to be empathetic and lovable towards every people who work, maybe your staff, maybe your interns, maybe your seniors. Please do not forget we are all in the same boat with different ratios of troubles. Everybody has it.
Oh, very well put. Different ratios of trouble. I think this is one lesson that they can take from this episode. One last thing, maybe, about you certainly are somebody who has a lot of good relations and touchwood in the industry. So, is there anything that you want to share about maybe building good relations in the industry, or maybe otherwise, maybe also in your personal life?
As I said, don't speak bad about anybody. The moment you don't speak bad about people, so there's no opportunity to spoil relations with anybody. Know everybody rightly, but don't criticize people, don't try to pull them down, don't try to mock at anybody because it's not correct. The moment you do this, you're going to have bitter relations with people. People are not going to like you, accept you. So don't keep too high egos also. Be nice. Go in people's bad times to them if you can't go in their good times. Because that's where the real relationship builds.
Absolutely. I agree with you, ma'am. And I had a really good session today. It was very enlightening for me, especially. I hope that the audiences, and it also translated to the audiences. It was a great pleasure to host you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. Is there any last message?
Yeah, Muskan, it was only because of you. I agreed for it because you're doing some good thing, and I encourage young students like you. Always be welcome and always enjoy doing good things and do it for your benefit and your community's benefit. All the very best. My pleasure. I hope
Thank you so
everything
much,
I've
ma'am.
spoken. I hope everything I've spoken has really been in a positive notion. With the disclaimer, I would end nothing personalized for anybody. Everything nice and for everybody. A lots of love.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And tuning off on a Sunday, let us end the live now.
Sure. Thank you. Bye bye.